Hello everyone, my name is Zendy, and welcome to Minecraft Fnaf Management Wanted, Episode 4. And yeah, been quite a bit since I last played. Trying to exactly remember everything. Hmm. Anyway, we're back. I think the one thing we have to do, or at least work on, is getting enough um, getting the crops, I think mainly wheat, to trade with the villagers. So that way, um, we can get more money or Faz bucks and Faz coins. But also so we can upgrade the one villager and the Fnaf villager. So we can actually get our first pizzeria. Go from there. Uh, I don't know how many of the achievements we're gonna do. I think we're just gonna do as many as we can. Since I don't know what all we can really do. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know how to turn on the Markiplier mode. Really have no idea. Maybe we'll find out later on. I'm not sure though. The only thing I really know is that we do get money. Uh, when we do the night shifts, but like I know we can like run the pizzeria and whatnot, but I don't know if we actually get money as well from doing that. Unless they have it planned for the future, which if it isn't already a thing, I hope it will be. But who knows? Oh, hello there. Uh, you just got regular stuff. Would be cool if you had spruce sapling, but you don't. We have so much to get rid of. And also we have to fix the mountain as well. It's like has holes, just make it look a bit, I wouldn't say better, but not as like how it is right now. I also gotta fix that. I was kind of thinking of leaving it, but well, it's just like the lower part. But I think I'm just gonna get rid of it all. Since technically it would be a bit in a way when like building. Especially like the perimeter would be in a way. Gonna quickly go check out the villager. Just to refresh my mind with what we need for the deeds for the pizzerias. Hello there. Okay, so the first deed, discount diners, 20 emeralds. Okay. Hmm. I can move you, right? Okay, yeah, I can. You just don't actually move. And I'm guessing this is what you're connected to, or your job is. Okay, good to know. Just wondering about that. Think I would eventually want to move him. Maybe get rid of the building. I would have to figure that out yet. Or out in the future. Before trying to figure that out and everything. Unfortunately, we still have to deal with the regular mobs as well, because it is still Minecraft. So that means we have to deal with phantoms if we don't sleep for an extended period of time. But this will definitely take a lot of work though. Just layering everything, even just like a small portion, just small, would be a bit time consuming. But it will be all worth it in the end though. Hopefully. Oh, it's raining great. I really dislike the rain. Well, I guess. Well, I have no idea what Thinmotronics can do and whatnot, but I would presume because it's raining, they wouldn't be able to do anything. But it is day, so obviously wouldn't know. Not that there is a pizzeria near here anyway to actually go and test that on. Plus, it would need to be night anyway. Which it's day, not night. Mm. Oh, my inventory is full. You know what? I'm actually gonna change my plan quite a bit. Instead of it being like a theme park or amusement park, I have decided I'm actually gonna change it. So what I'm gonna do instead, I guess it's gonna be kind of like, because I want there to be some sort of lore, like some sort of explanation of why there will be the buildings that there is and why things are the way they are, that sort of thing. So I decided that trying to think of how to word it. So it's still gonna be like sort of like a city town, or like a town actually. But it's going to be, I guess, sort of like encased in a dome. And what it's gonna be, or maybe it won't be encased in a dome or glass dome. I haven't really gone that far ahead with thinking about it all that much. But it'll still be like, a town, small town, and all that sort. But, and there'll be a pizzeria. There'll be like a big pizzeria, sort of like the Pizzaplex, except, well, it'll be my fan-made pizzeria. That's what it'll be. But for lore, and it will also actually be there, is that we'll have an underground area, so sort of like Poppy Playtime, except, well, I guess it kind of would be like Poppy Playtime, the more that I think about it, which wasn't actually intentional at all. It's just the more I thought about it, the more I realized that it sounds like Poppy Playtime. The more I like actually processed it and everything. But so imagine someone was, a fan of William Afton and his work and the whole bits. And we could say for like how many ever generations that this person and their family has been obsessed with William Afton's work and whatnot. And so let's imagine that this person wanted to sort of recreate everything William Afton did. So like the whole children scenario and the whole remnants and everything else. The animatronics coming to life, the missing children, dead security guards, everything. And so, then this is subject to change anyway, but let's just say that they had a grand envision of, let's just say, making an amusement park. So that's originally what this place was going to be. But unfortunately, their plans did not work, just like William Afton's didn't, except the only difference is that this person realized that people would get suspicious. It being an amusement park or whatever it originally was supposed to, which we may or may not actually have remnants on the surface of it. And then we can say they well, this is all, early lore. So, test phase lore, if you want to call it that. So none of this is actually decided or final. But let's just say that this person, whoever it is, decided, hey, let's build here. This is a perfect place. It's still like an amusement park on the surface, but down underground. Like we could say that they had like sort of like a building for like the kids. So there would be like a hotel just for the parents and all that sort. Which we may still end up building the hotel or whatever it ends up being. So basically, like with the old idea, original idea that I had for this world and this area, except twisting it and making it like a remnant, not actual remnant, but from FNAF, but a remnant of the past. So let's just say that when they were working, started building, let's just say something happened. Whether that be suspicion, uh, or whatnot, or maybe, who knows, they decided to just go missing, or, well, not undercover, but just like vanish, without a trace. And so the project, or I guess their amusement park or world or whatever, uh, ends up, shutting down. And so we could say me, or, well, I guess the new management, well, a different management, the one that, um, I forgot what the YouTuber's name is, but they make these really cool animations, and it really shows like a different side of Michael Afton. Like, he's basically like a good version. Like, well, kind of. There's only like so much you can figure out with like the lore and in the videos in general. But I like to think that Michael Afton, or well, whatever the case is, or even just like people that were fond of William Afton, but wanted to do good. They were actually good people. They just liked William Afton's work with the restaurants, not the whole remnants, uh, souls and the animatronics whole thing. But so it's kind of like with the mimic, I guess. Kind of how like there was that whole thing with I don't even remember, Afton's Corporation or whatnot. I really don't remember much. I watched multiple gameplays of the Mimic, but it's probably because I'm not really a fan of the Mimic, to be fair. I mean, it was a cool game, but trying to put it up with the lore of the current FNAF, or, with the actual other games, just probably why I don't really like it that much. But we can just think that a different corporation, one that's actually good, with no evil intention, well, hopefully no evil intention, decided to send us, you know? We had ideas, we wanted to make our own animatronics for the company, we had our own pizzeria ideas since the company wanted its employees to like actually have ideas. Their ideas were actually thoroughly looked through and everything. It's not like, oh, we'll think about your idea. It's like, we will actually think about your idea. And if it's, actually good, then yeah. So that's basically where we come along. We build our place. Well, I guess not right now, but the lore is that we came here to build a pizzeria and a dome. And so the domes are, well, I guess I could build domes everywhere else, but I think it kind of, who knows? Maybe we could build domes everywhere else, or to sort of increase the lore range, like actually make it more I wouldn't say believable, but I guess in our own universe, in this own FNAF universe, we can make it a bit more realistic or real. But so we can think of as domes, if I actually do go through with actually making a dome, glass dome, we can think that they're like a project of sorts. Like, trying to think of what the words would be. Um, hmm. It's sort of like, think of it as like a foundation, I guess, of something big. So like the dome is sort of the foundation. So like there would be domes all around the world. Mainly to um I guess protect what's inside the domes, so like the company's property. You could sort of think of it as like a force field that um is just like not an actual force field. But you could think of it as one, I guess. But anyway, so like we came here, all the employees, well, not all the employees, but the company selected however many employees, and they sent them all to different locations, different areas to start what they would, I guess, call the I don't know. I would have to actually think of a name for it. But I guess it would be Operation Fnaf Dome? I don't know. I will have to think about that a bit more. But anyway, the point is that we came here, we have to, terraform this place, make it livable, we have to build houses, get the residents nearby uh people, well, I guess residents, because they're residents of that village. But we would have to bring them over here, bring them to their new home, which we can just imagine that they're people from the big cities, or also from the smaller cities, or, well, villages in this case. You can think of them as like participants. It's like how my original plan was that there would be houses that the employees and their families can live in. Except in this case, it would be the nearby townsfolk or villagers or whatever case is, uh, came here to, have a better life. Or maybe they just wanted a quieter life. But so, of course, there would still be remnants as, we progress and build. Well, I mean, once. Well, the lore wise is that there are remnants of the old buildings and everything. So, like, of the person who originally, which is the one that's a fan of William Afton, that is also evil and not sane, not a good person at all, that left here. So we basically came here, and unfortunately, we have to do the dirty work, which would be, uh, actually clearing this place up because it got, I guess, overgrown, to where the world changes, the land changes the whole bit. And so if we decided to leave some of the buildings for right now, because one person tasked with like building homes, sources of food, and of course, on top of that, the company's pizzeria. Well, technically, you, your pizzeria, but the company technically owns it, but you also are the owner. Since it's your idea, you get full credits, but you also have limitations. So, like, yes, it's your idea, you own it, uh, you get to decide everything. It's basically, imagine if you're a mayor, I guess. I don't know why I would choose mayor out of all of the things. That's like the first thing that came to my head. Um, or I guess like a king, queen, emperor, empress, with like a court. So imagine you're a ruler. I guess I could use that term as well. And you have all the power, but you also have people like the court, for instance, who also have power. I mean, there are limitations you can imagine, This has to be a safe place, you gotta keep the people in mind. You can't murder people. It's supposed to be, I wouldn't say entirely a safe place. It's just supposed to be a place people can call home, a place people can come to. Um, so that's also another reason why they have it as a dome. Sort of to not necessarily separate it from the outside world. Even though lore reasons, that's why a lot of people are skeptical of the corporation because they're in domes. Even though, or well, all these locations are in domes. Making them feel like if something happened on the inside, the outside world wouldn't know. The only difference is the outside world would 100% know. That's why the company also is in charge of everything. You just have to kind of manage everything, basically. I don't know. This would make more sense if this wasn't, I guess, in survival. If I was actually making an actual world in creative, which I guess I could have done anyway. But it would, I think, make a lot more sense now that I think about it. But it's too late now. Can't start over. Unless I lose this world to, like, crashes or whatnot. But hopefully that doesn't happen for a long time. But anyway, back onto, like, explaining the whole lore and everything of my new plan for this world. So, like, we we're like the owners, we do everything we can. We can do whatever we want with limitations. But, we're still being watched by the company. and everything. And mainly the company's goal is I haven't really thought that far, but it's mainly just like, trying to find a better I guess salvation. I don't really know. Basically, the rest of the world is torn apart with wars. Well, depending on how many years it's been since like the whole downfall of William Afton and Fnaf security breach and everything. Things happen. The world changes and everything. So we can imagine that the outside world is not perfect. So these domes are supposed to be like a way to escape reality while also being aware and in reality at the same time. And that's where we come in to build these places. And they're not just like pizzerias, like they can be anything. Or I guess also restaurants. Which eventually I will have to like expand on this lore by actually building all of these said domes and everything. But we'll worry about that when time goes by, yeah. And we'll figure everything out by then. But so lore is that we came to this place, we were sent here and to do our lifetime job since we can't get fired. I mean, we can get demoted, but we can't get fired. We basically signed a contract binding ourselves to the company with no bad things. It's like a good contract. The only difference is that you can't quit, or well, you generally can't get fired unless you really do something or say something. Then yes, you could get fired. But the company wants the best of the best. Well, when it comes to good people, I guess, with actual good ideas and not ideas of um, souls being trapped in suits. I guess you could think of it as like that. But so yeah, we came here with our plan, of course, also with the company's plan. So we have to build like a town, whether that be a big town, like, well, I don't think we'll actually build a city since we would need quite a lot more room. I mean, I could always tear down the mountain, to be fair. And you could also see the village, which actually wouldn't be a bad idea now that I think about it. If we just build a big city and enclosed it, and then on the outside you can actually see that there is still civilization out there. That wouldn't actually be a bad idea. But anyway, so in the center we would have our own pizzeria. Of course, company policy by signing the contract, well, signing the second contract, which is why we ended up here in the first place. If we didn't sign the second contract, uh, which was of a job opportunity, a job offer, quote unquote, from the company, then we wouldn't be here. The first contract is just like our whole life commitment to this job, to the company, working for the company, and everything else. But what we did not know, which also the company also was not really aware about, well, the company was aware that there was some person here that bought the land and tried to turn it into an amusement park, and that's really a whole. They don't really know a whole lot. They don't know what happened. They just know that something went wrong, and the owner went missing, and that they somehow have a connection to William Afton, being that they were a fan of his work. What they, however, did not know was that deep underground, which they were only told was a warehouse, was just an old warehouse factory of sorts. What it turns out is that it's actually something deeper, which unfortunately I don't have a. I only am limited to what this mod pack offers, so I don't have like other things that would also make, I guess, a bit creepier, a bit more uh scary, I think the word would be. No, because creepy can also mean scary. More unsettling, that's the word, unsettling. But hey, we have what we have. Just gotta make it work. But so, we eventually end up finding this. Well, I mean, if we ever actually go through with this plan, which I do actually think it's a better plan. It actually gives me more ideas. Not that the first one didn't, but you know, I think this idea would work perfect for this world. I mean, maybe eventually, if we find like another FNAF mod pack, or if they update this one, and I can no longer use this world, then we can go with the amusement park plan. But deciding to change it for this world. But that's basically the lore. There used to be some FNAF, well, I guess William Afton obsessed person that bought this land, made an amusement park, or I guess like FNAF World, or whatever it is, and ended up disappearing without a trace for some mysterious reason that we may never know, or we may know in the future. So the company, despite its suspicions, since, it didn't want to grow the community's suspicion of them even more, because, well, building these FNAF location, or, well, remaking these FNAF, or, well, I can't speak. Bringing the FNAF back into the world, the whole animatronics, pizzerias, that whole bit. The people weren't too happy, you know. They believed that their children would end up going missing, and the whole William Afton scenario would happen all over again, which understandable. But that's not what the company does. The company is actually good. But so we were brought here to make our own dream location, or dream pizzeria, or, well, I'm gonna say Pizzaplex, or I guess I'll just say pizzeria for right now. With its own lore, own animatronics, and everything. Well, lore being, well, my own lore for the pizzeria and animatronics. Not so much for the lore of the world. That's like separate. But I am bringing my lore for my FNAF universe, fan made Fnaf universe with its own pizzeria and animatronics and everything into this world. Well, not exactly, just in lore, unfortunately. Can't actually make it like physical lore. Except with the pizzeria. Well, minus what it would actually look like and everything. And then, of course, we also have to build houses, maybe a few stores, farmland, the whole bit. But the lore for Deep Underground, the company believes, or what was told was, there's a old, I guess, unstable warehouse factory underground that's like deep underground, but the reality is much more darker. It's like a Poppy Playtime. That's why when I said earlier that it's kind of like Poppy Playtime, it kind of is. Just FNAF version, I guess. But yeah, that's what the future of this world is now, or will be. Which still got a lot of digging to do, and I also have to decide if I want to actually make a big city. I'm not too sure yet. I might get rid of the mountain though, because I think it would be cool seeing that other village past or like inside the dome. Like see the other village, I think would be a bit cool. Just so that it shows some sign of civilization outside of the dome and everything. But we'll have to see though. But that's kind of what I'm going for this world now. The new idea, the new change, the new lore, and everything. Maybe one day we'll bring back the old lore in like a new world or something. But for now, it'll just be buried in the past. But hopefully this actually goes to plan. And I don't end up regretting my decision or anything. Oh, pillagers. I mean, both would take a long time to make happen anyway, so it's not really a time thing. It's more of just like something uh to keep in mind in the future. Because I don't think there would really be a whole lot of difference. I mean, the new plan obviously would take a bit longer, but I think it would also, I don't know, I think it would make it a bit better. Well, not really, maybe not better, but, give this world more character and everything. Make it, I guess, feel more alive with the lore and actual physical lore all around, rather than just like in the middle of nowhere with a village nearby, there being an amusement park. But with the new idea, we can actually go however many blocks, and we can actually make other domes that all will have inhabitants as well. It's just ours will have a deep, very deep secret. Well, to the company and in lore wise is a secret. Like, no one actually knows what's really down there. All they know is that there's an old warehouse that is unstable, that was supposedly filled in, sealed off, filled in, no longer is of importance, doesn't hold any value. You know, it's not like if you're gonna dig underground, you're not just gonna like fall and die. At least that's what they say, or that's what we'll say for the lore, is that that's what was told to the company and the public of the world outside of the dome, I guess. The rest of humanity, in a way. But yeah. So hopefully everything turns out alright, and you guys also will enjoy it. Even though I'm not the best builder, but hopefully, since I am working on my hardcore series, or, you know, still making episodes and everything, because that series, lot of building, a very much lot of building. So hopefully, in the times that will come, it will actually serve its purpose. Well, of actually making me be able to build something that actually looks good for this world and for that world and for many more worlds, servers, series is the whole bits to come. And hopefully that you guys will also enjoy it as well. But for right now, we just gotta do a lot of digging, mining, getting resources, get the villagers over here to also kind of help with the resources and start like preparing and everything as well. Also gonna have to try and find a desert eventually, since gonna need a lot of sand. Even though there is an ocean, I think. I think we are surrounded by an ocean. Well, half surrounded. So it wouldn't be a bad idea, or no, it would actually take longer if we were to try and get sand from the ocean. I think trying to actually find an ocean ourselves would be a lot, not ocean, a desert ourselves would be a lot better than trying to mine in the ocean, which I don't know why I would think that mining the ocean would be better. Don't know what my thought process thought that would be a good idea. But my thought process did think it was, which really makes no sense, but oh well. Gonna make another chest for dirt, because gonna be having a lot of dirt, which actually I guess for our new plan it actually works perfectly, because we're gonna need so very much dirt. Well, I don't actually know how much dirt we need. I just know we're gonna need maybe like a chest full, probably more. I don't think we'll need that much dirt, but who knows? Anyway, that will do it for episode 4 of Management Wanted, or Fnaf Minecraft Management Wanted. So I hope you guys have a good day or night, and hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!